Welcome back to the Morning Show here on Arise News. Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Mr. Efeni.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Leila. Good morning, Tundu.
Good morning.
Yes, let's start with these day newspapers as usual. The lead story, Buhari expresses shock at level of violent crimes in the country. Promises tougher measures against bandits. Senate back community policing to interface with the Inspector General. Insecurity alarming, says House. Other newspapers are also reporting the same story. The Nation newspaper, insecurity, Buhari's turn as lawmakers seek action. President to go harder on criminals. Senate embrace community policing. While the Daily Trust, Buhari, I am surprised by rising insecurity. We are shocked by your admittance, says experts. Now, the Nigerian Tribune, insecurity, Senate to invite Inspector General of Police. Buhari says level of banditry surprised him. Plateau killing death toll rises to 27. Former Speaker's house burnt. Lalong orders arrest of Fulani community leaders. Now, the degenerating state of insecurity. While the rest of us are surprised, the president seems to be surprised also.
I'm surprised that the president is surprised.
Yes.
I'll put it that way.
So if we are all surprised, the man whose table the box tops is also surprised, then I don't know who will not be surprised. But what we expect from the president is action. And over time, perhaps we have not seen anything different. That's why the situation seems to be degenerating. What are we going to do next? Now we're talking about community policing at the House of Rep level. We are reacting. We expect them to be proactive because this is not a new development. We've seen killings, herdsmen killings across the Middle Belt last year, and there was a lull before the election, immediately after the election, and now we've seen this upsurge. So it's like everybody went to sleep, the security agencies went to sleep, and they're talking about pulling soldiers out of some of these troubled areas. So I don't know how you reconcile the move to pull soldiers out and these rising cases of killings in a place like Plateau.
Well, I agree with you that we should all be surprised that the president himself is surprised. But what is more important is that the president has expressed a commitment to address the problem. And if I may quote him from page 9 of this day, where the story continues, the president says, we have to be harder on them. One of the responsibilities of government is to provide security. It's very good to see the president quoting section 14 of the Nigerian Constitution. And it goes on to say, if we don't secure the country, we will not be able to manage the economy properly.
Yeah.
So the president knows what the problem is. As you said, what we expect is solution to the problem. And it's also good that when the National Assembly reconvened, one of the first issues that was addressed by the Senate was the issue of insecurity in the country. And also at the level of the House of Representatives, it was also the same issue. So we are all agreed on one fact, that, our lives need to be safe, properties need to be safe in Nigeria. But the government at all levels has the responsibility to do something about it. On the question of community policing, as you said, is reactive. And I guess it's a response to the emergence of Operation Amotekun, the Western Nigeria Security Network. I don't know the quality of thought, that has gone into coming up with community policing, because it looks like something that the Inspector General of Police just woke up overnight and said, let us do community policing, which is based on, the concurrence, the cooperation of communities across the country. And I guess, they may not get that cooperation because of the way they are going about it. If the objective is to ensure that you don't have Operation Amotekun-like units or structures in other parts of the country. I don't think that, the police is strategic enough, because the whole idea has been dismissed as an attempt to check the spread of regional security outfits like Operation Amotekun.
But to be fair to the Nigerian police force, the issue of community policing has been on the drawing board for a very long time. I remember since the days of President Olusegun Obasanjo, when Alawi Bozimo was the Minister of Police Affairs. This issue was...
No, I'm not saying it's new.
But they have also even tried it...
also to state police.
No, they have also tried it in a pilot scheme. But why the dilly-dally? Why the dilly-dally? Because there should be some result from that pilot scheme. And maybe you see some shortcomings, you correct them, then you move on. But what they are doing now, yes, it's like, yes, to checkmate the spread of Amotekun and similar operations in other geopolitical zones. That's what it looks like. But let's hope that with this new awareness, since the president is surprised that the security is degenerating so fast, and let's hope something will come out. But one thing the president also said, that we are going to be harder. And if you look at it from another perspective, it means they've been treating this matter with kid gloves. And that's what one...
No, that's not my interpretation.
No, not you. I'm not talking about you.
What it means is that the government will do a lot more.
No, but at the House of Representatives yesterday, the member from Plateau State, who is representing the community where 27 people have been killed in the last couple of days, said the problem is that the president has been treating the issue of herders attacking villages with kid gloves. That's the words he used. That while the rest of the world tagged the herders as terrorist organizations, President Buhari is treating them with kid gloves. This was said on the floor of the House yesterday. I'm not... so when you say harder, we'll treat them harder now, and somebody say, you've been treating them with kid gloves, then...
I don't think the president was responding to the honorable member of the House of Representatives. I guess he was saying government will do a lot more.
Okay, that's what we all expect the government to do, and bring the situation under control. Let's move on to other stories. The Guardian newspaper, how Buhari out-tweeted Lawan, disbanded the new NDDC board. Yes, you discussed this story earlier, but what perhaps we seem to be overlooking, who appointed the board in the first place?
He did, the president.
President Muhammadu Buhari did. That board, the names were sent to the National Assembly, they were screened and cleared. So the reaction of the National Assembly, we now have a board cleared, is inconsistent with having an interim management board in place. And who said the new board cannot oversee the forensic audit.
The president did. Mm-hmm.
So there seemed to be some confusion coming from the presidency, and this whole thing seemed to be muddled up. Now you are talking of, we'll now reconstitute another one.
And the people suffering are those of the Niger Delta. Mr. Efeni, thank you.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel Efeni.
Yes.
We'll see you tomorrow.